When I was 7 years old, I moved to Midland, Texas from Louisville, Kansas. I wasn't aware at the time, moving to Midland, of the state of the water that was in Midland until one particular incident. I went to my best friend's house and we were playing outside, and the scorching heat made us thirsty, so we went inside for a drink of water. I wasn't aware that the water that I was about to taste was going to be the worst water I had ever put in my mouth. That was the first and last time that I ever drank water at her house. It may seem that my topic today is about how bad water is, but it's actually about how how water is better today than it ever has been. We tend to take water for granted because we don't realize how much we actually have. So today I will be talking about how water is better today than it ever has been, and how blessed we are to have such easy access to clean and safe water. So let's start out with how much we have. We use water so much on a daily basis and we don't even realize it. For example, we use water for showering, cooking, doing laundry, gardening, and so much more. We never have a problem with access to water because it's just always been there, so it's never been a problem for us. In biblical times, I can't imagine how people could live there with hardly anything. However, what they did have is all they knew, so they were probably considered lucky. They considered themselves lucky to have what they actually did. But after thinking about it, I can't imagine living in those times and how they got by with such little water and not a whole lot of clean water. The United States probably has the most water, unlike other countries that are not as fortunate and don't have as much or clean for that matter. People have to be very careful in those countries because they have to be very conservative with their water and how much they use, and which water is safe to drink and what water is not safe to drink. That leads me to talk about how incredible the invention of the water filter is. The filter was created to clean the water and make it taste better. The filter isn't created for all water, but for places like Midland. Without filters, some of the water that we drink today on a daily basis wouldn't taste the same and would probably taste as bad as Midland water or worse. When I was 8 years old, my family discovered the bottle. It's kind of a weird word, but the bottle is just like a regular water bottle that has a filter attached to the lid, so that when you drink it, it filters all the bad stuff and it tastes good and it's safe to drink. I would use the bottle when I go to my friend's house or any place that didn't have good tasting water. It's more updated and reliable now, but we stopped using it after we moved to Alaska because the water in Alaska is much more fresh than in Texas. My last and final point is about preserving water and saving as much as possible. Even though we have a lot of water, Americans should do everything in their power to preserve the water that we do have. For example, some of the things that we could do, turning the water off while brushing our teeth, taking shorter showers, and turning the water off while doing the dishes. Doing these little things can go a long way. So, for example, we could cut our showers to at least 15 minutes maximum. We don't realize it, but we're saving a lot of water when we do that. And turning the water off while scrubbing the dishes, and then turning it back on when we need to rinse, all of those little things go a long way. So, in conclusion, the water that we have today is probably better today than it ever has been. There is a lot of water, not only to drink, but to use for a lot of things, and it's safer to drink than ever. And we have the incredible invention of the water filter for places that doesn't have good water, like Midland, for example. So we should do our very best to preserve as much water as possible, even though we do have a lot of water, and it is better today than it ever has been.